Hey, we're cooking with gas here on the Jewcast.
Okay, careful using a phrase like that.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery, of a sham, of a mockery, of a travesty, of two mockeries, of a sham.
Tradition!
Oh, shut up, Carl! Shut your goddamn Jew mouth! You people are why there's war in the Middle East!
Gekakken van Jan.
Nebbig.
Ver poepoepoe.
Vermischt.
Verkakt.
Vertut.
Verstonken.
Fartig.
Exactly.
You what Grammy Hall would call a real Jew.
There's always something to complain about on American Jew. Hello there.
Hey,
Episode 41, drilling its way into your eardrums here.
We're making our way in.
Yeah. There's always, we're in Brooklyn where there's always construction. I swear to God, when they finish building this city, it's going to be amazing.
They will never finish, Jordan.
That's the joke. Thank you for that. How are you, Jonathan?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm feeling Jew-tastic today.
Are you? You're feeling extra Jewy?
Extra Jewy.
Really? What happened? Did you have Hummentaschen for breakfast?
I mean, I had a show last night, and I was more excited about the food than I was this show. It's all about that burrito.
Really? You were pretty excited. I saw you order that food.
Oh, yeah. That broccoli cream burrito, baby.
Exciting. I mean, yeah, the show wasn't very exciting. Sorry.
I mean, it was what it was.
It definitely was something.
Well, I got to say, so you sent me an article about this website that apparently has been going on since 2012, thetorah.com.
Yeah, thetorah.com.
First of all, I mean, amazing foresight for those people to be able to get that website.
They did very well.
I mean, apparently they were trying to stay under the radar. I don't know how you stay under the radar with thetorah.com. It's like thebible.com. I mean, those people.
It's true.
Right?
They got it, man. Good for them. They're
got
smart.
it. Right.
They are smart. I mean, they're taking academics and putting it towards the Torah.
I know. They're like, why do we only listen to the people that wrote these commentaries on the Torah 900 years ago, 1,000 years ago?
I mean, that's so true. They kind of say, like, Rashi's a little, like, outdated. Like,
yeah.
Which is true.
I mean, you don't have to discount
Good
Rashi.
point, but it's like when that was the perspective in the world back when Rashi lived, and
right.
That's how he was interpreting it. And anyways, the gist of it is, like, I guess the very religious people, the Orthodox people, they believe that God gave Moses the Bible, like, 4,000 years ago, and
right.
It all happened. This is a true story, everything that happened. And what the people at the Torah.com are saying would, I guess, be called heresy. But they are taking a different view at it and saying, no, these are like parables that were passed down from generation to generation,
right.
And by different people that wrote them. And, that they didn't really happen. And some of the laws in it contradict each other, and some of the things they do are kind of cruel and sick and mean, and the world isn't like that anymore.
Right.
And they kind of, make it better, make it nice. You're still Jewish.
There are still ways to do mitzvahs and to follow the laws of God.
And I think even more so, like with our morality as it is today,
sure.
And being more open to like people and taking life's experience, like the whole world's experience, like in consideration for our behavior and how we move forward. And I really like the Torah.com. I think it's going to be a website that we should, check out more often. They have, different articles about things in, this week's Torah every week and everything. And, anyone out there, I feel like a lot of our cultural Jewish listeners, like this is definitely a good website for you to go check out.
Yeah, they have a lot of different viewpoints on the stories in there. I mean, my favorite thing about it is that, they talk about how, like you said, this is not a literal chronology of what actually happened.
Yeah, like the world didn't really, get flooded.
People didn't live until 900 years of age.
Okay, well, yeah.
Woman was not made from Adam's rib. The snake did not lose its feet because of its sins. These little things like that. Little things.
I bet those snake feet would have been delicious, though. Sounds like a delicacy.
It does.
Would you like some snake feet? Ooh! Did you hear at the party they were serving snake feet? Randall always has the best parties.
Tastes like chicken wings.
This week's Parsha.
Yeah, this week's Parsha is fucking bananas.
Action-packed. It really is action-packed.
It really is.
There's so much going on.
This is a lot happening this week, for sure.
Okay, so God shows himself to Abraham.
Yeah.
God reveals himself to Abraham, and Abraham's like, oh, hold up, God, I see three strangers walking
Right.
towards me, coming my way.
Well, I mean, granted, he is kind of. This is like 3 days after he circumcised himself at 100 years old. So he's maybe not thinking straight.
Anyways, he kind of like this is God to go help. He is awesome hospitality. Abraham is known for his hospitality. He's such a hospitable guy.
Yeah, he
like
and his
it's
wife,
very
Sarah,
important to him.
They love
I
having
guess-
guests. They
right.
love hosting parties.
It's something about like Bedouin culture. And I know when I went to Israel, I experienced it. They took us out and like to Bedouin tents and we had dinner and stuff, and it was really lovely. But his hospitality was like on mark, and he's helping these three people who are really angels. They're really angels that God sent anyways.
Right.
He sent his own interruptions. I don't know. Maybe it was like one of those things like when you go on a date and you tell your friend like call me in like an hour if it sucks, like I'm
Right,
gonna leave.
yeah.
So God,
It's more like an undercover boss situation, really. He like
Is that
sends a couple of
what
his
it
guys there to just like check up on Abraham. He's the first Jew, make sure he's doing the good stuff. Make sure he's making mitzvahs. So yeah, the three people come. One of them tells him, "You're 100. Your wife Sarah is 90. But guess what? Next year she's going to give you a son. You're going to have
right. God said something about that last week, and now He's making it happen.
Right.
They think it's hilarious.
They're like, what are you kidding? You're out of your mind. I'm 100 years old. How am I
Yeah,
still going to
they're
father
laughing.
a child?
They both take a turn laughing, right?
Right.
They tell him, he laughs, and they tell her, she laughs.
That's a good one, God. These guests, what a crack
yeah,
up.
it is. It's weird already that they were living that long. Now they're going to have like babies too. Some inaccuracies, which like
So God tells Abraham, or Abraham tells God, "Listen, my nephew Lot, he went.
yeah,
to
God's
Sodom."
going to destroy these like 5 cities,
Right.
And one of them because they are just sinning it up. It is crazy,
Yeah, so
over there.
So he sends those 2 angels to Sodom to protect Lot. He's like, "Okay, I'm destroying this city, so I'll get you out.
Right.
I'll protect you from the Sodomite mob."
And he,
Yeah.
well,
These
Lot was also very
like a
hospitable guy. He learned from his uncle.
It's a gang of people that want
Abraham.
to fuck you in the ass. I gotta.
So Lot takes these 2 angels in, and that's what happens. Everyone
Right.
in the town gathers round Lot's house, and they all say, "Send them out. We want to sodomize them."
Right. His daughters obviously are kind of hot, I guess. Also, like,
Lot's daughters.
yeah. So-
Okay, maybe they want Lot's daughters
so
too.
They flee the city. The angels take them and they tell them, "Listen, as we go, don't look back."
They are destroying it, and it's horrid, and they don't want anyone looking at the destruction
Yeah.
because they were doing ass fucking there, and that is unacceptable.
Do not
apparently.
look. Do not look.
This is a bad part. This is very anti. It's almost like all the gay people are hanging out in Saddam and these cities.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we can't have it. Like that's how people will interpret it, and it's not true. Like. That this is all just crazy. But anyways, Lot's wife looks back. She doesn't listen.
and she gets turned into a pillar of salt, which I don't
pillar
remember
of
them. I
salt.
don't remember that even being given as a warning. Like, don't look back or else.
Well, they said don't look back, but I guess they didn't have to warn. But
I mean, that doesn't.
yeah.
I mean,
but why salt? That's what I want to know.
I know,
in the
right?
desert. They just leave her.
right? They just leave
They're
it.
just like, can you do? Like she just looked. Like really? Come on.
it's a
We
very-
just escaped the group of people trying to like rape us. Like
Yeah.
She was just maybe looking back, making sure nobody was chasing her, and you had to turn her into salt. So they go. Meanwhile,
so then they like hide in a cave.
Oh, they go hide in-
to
yeah.
like ride out the destruction.
they ride out the destruction.
And they think that everyone in the world is dying. They think they assume that.
Yeah, they don't know it's only those cities. So they think it's the whole world.
They think it's been the
They
apocalypse.
think
right.
so. They
get him drunk. They
Drug
get- they-
their own father.
Yeah, they get their father drunk.
They drunk
and
him up.
they have sex with him. They both have sex with him, and they both get pregnant.
Wild orgy, disgusting.
Right, and that's when
horrible
God comes down
orgy.
after that, and that's when he starts telling people not to have sex with their father. Like that's part of when he's like, okay,
And there are 2 tribes that like spawn from these 2 children. They also kick out Ishmael and Hagar. Hagar starts acting up again against Sarah. They have some drama,
Right.
Because Ishmael really is the firstborn son. And whatever, and for some reason it's being overlooked because I don't know, she was a slave. It's some BS, whatever. I don't know what's going on here.
right,
This
so
is some fucking
He kicks them out into the wilderness, and God here's Ishmael crying.
yeah, like he's gonna die. They're starving. It's they have no food. Like it's really horrible.
So God helps them.
He helps them.
Right. And then then it sort of goes over the thing where Abraham and Sarah go, and he has to present her as
No, they go to another place.
Yeah,
they
they
go to
move.
another place, and Sarah is just so freaking hot at 90 years old that like every king wants to fuck her.
Yeah.
At 90 years old, she's so hot that every king is like, oh my God, like as soon as she comes to the kingdom, they like go and tell the king, like word gets to the king fast, like the hottest 90-year-old you have ever seen. Apparently there's a lot of like gilfs back then, grandma, like I don't even know what's going on. They have these fetishes or what. Anyway, she's 90.
He does the thing. Remember last time I told them you were my sister?
This is his move. His move is say, we're brother and sister, so you don't kill me.
Right. Yeah. So they do that again, and so the king takes her to have sex with her, but he gets a plague because of it.
The whole
like
house.
God comes to him and tells him in a dream, don't fuck her because that you have to return.
Married,
She's married, and if you don't return,
so then he returns her, and again gives Abraham a bunch of shit.
Right, and then God gives them
it's
a son.
Pimping.
God's like, oh, that's right. I also said I was going to give you a son. Boom, pregnant.
Weird.
And,
yes, something of the story's not adding up.
And that's the first circumcision at 8 days. That's the first one that they do.
And that's the
at
birth of Isaac, which apparently means like something about laughter.
To laugh.
Because she laughed.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of, this is like a weird scam that Abraham has that they go to, this is how we get stuff. We'll say your brother and sister, then they take you, God will smite their house, he'll send you back, we'll get a bunch of crap. It's very shady. But anyways, then I don't know why God like wants more from Abraham.
Yeah. How old is Isaac at this point? He's like Is this like when he's old enough to understand things?
Yeah,
like
Isaac gets older, and God wants him to.
God tells Abraham
to
bring him to this mount and create an altar and sacrifice his only son to God, and he does it. Abraham, and he doesn't even tell Isaac. He's like, listen, we're going to go sacrifice this ram to God.
Yeah, they get there, and I was just like, Dad, where's the ram?
Yeah, don't worry, I'll take care of the ram.
I don't see the ram. And they're like, the ram's coming. So yeah, Abraham does it. He has come to God, whatever God says, he's going to do it. After all this drama to have this kid, the God was the one that said you're going to have the kid, and then he's going to take it away. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, the whole thing makes zero sense, but I guess it's about, like, again, the covenant with God, cutting off part of his dick when he was 99 years old.
You'd think that would be enough.
Enough to prove
You
your
would
loyalty. Now he wants to kill his
How is
son.
that not enough?
That was a miracle from, angels. So much had to happen for this son to be born to a 90-year-old
You got
woman.
You got a 100-year-old man to cut open his dick.
Kill her. And he's going to kill him. Excuse me. He's going to kill Isaac.
I don't understand.
He's going to kill her, too. Sarah should be devastated. So he goes to do it. He gets it all. He's going to do it. And he's about to do it. He's ready to do it. And God's like, whoa, you're really going to do that? I'm just fucking with you.
I just don't understand. This is 2 weeks in a row where God is asking Abraham to do something that no rational person would do.
It ends. That's how they end. That stories end. Like, and will he do the thing? They're like, no. Like, will he do it? Abraham will do anything for God.
It's like the end of those 60s Batman TV series. Like, how will the Caped Crusader get out of this one? How will the first Jew end up?
What will Abraham do this time to prove his loyalty to God?
Yeah.
Tune in next week to find out on the Book of Genesis.
Same Jew time, same Jew channel. I think that's insane though. Like,
it's all crazy.
God tells Abraham to circumcise himself at 100 fucking years old, and he does it. And that's not enough to prove your loyalty to God. Next, he says, okay, you're going to kill I gave you a son finally from your wife, and now you're going to kill him for me.
Well, like, I understand, God, why are you doing all this stuff? Like, you're just testing him? It's like...
I think it's really a problem that we only have the one God, because he doesn't have anybody to check him.
God, maybe that's not such a good idea,
right?
Maybe Ixnay on the kill your son.
He doesn't seem to take anybody else's advice about any of this stuff. He's really just learning this as he goes.
I don't know what.
Like
he's pissed off about Abraham leaving him for the three angels.
I just got a 100-year-old man to deform his penis and all of the people in his community. Let's see what else I can get him to do. How far is he willing to go? How about you kill your only son? And the guy's like, he starts to do. He's like, wow, that guy is fucking crazy. All right, stop. And at what point do you start to be like, this God is really?
Are you kidding? Now he wants me to kill Isaac? Can you believe this shit, Sarah? And Sarah's like, oh fuck, I can't believe this guy.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, I know. Like, what do I do? It's like, just go.
I mean, when do the Jews start complaining? It takes a while before we start complaining about anything.
No wonder we complain so much.
Right? We've taken strangers into our home, one of who's like, by the way, you should start banging your wife again because you're going to have a baby soon. And they're like, yeah, right, 100. I'm 100. I just cut my dick open. How am I?
It's true.
How am I even gonna have a baby
a year
now?
later? Well, I guess they got another 3 months of healing.
Well, I guess, but what do you take away from this thing? Do you feel like there's anything of value? To
I mean,
take from
these are some weird, twisted Bible stories that, like, I think really, if you really look at them at a rational adult, make anybody question how could people believe that any of this is true. You know, raping people up the ass is horrible. Just having sex with people up the ass. I mean,
so God's like, all right, I'm going to kill all the people that are into butt stuff, and
I made it for exit only, and if anyone tries to put anything in there, I will kill them.
Yeah, and then, whoops, my mistake. I should have told you beforehand. You're not the only people left on Earth, and don't bang your father. Who, by the way, if you need any extra salt, got that covered.
Don't bang your father.
I got a little.
I love it. Why? Like, these women had they just had, like, how horny were they? You know, they just escaped being raped or whatever, and the first thing they think about is like, let's get our dad drunk.
Yeah.
Let's get our, like, I love it how that was like a thing even like back then, like. Like getting people drunk to have sex with them it's biblical, man.
I just think I'm just trying to figure out what the message is here. Like, you know, you have to
obey God.
Like, do you have to tell these stories?
Listen to God.
How far do you have to go in these stories to take the message? Like, this is a story about how you shouldn't look back at the destruction of your life after you've started to move on. This is a story about how you shouldn't bang your father. This is a story about how you should give your life up to God no matter what, and He will take care of you. I don't know where, you know, they've buried the lead of some of these messages.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's setting up like where the tribes of Israel, where we come from, you know, like Isaac is going to have a son, and like he's going to have, I think, 13 tribes. One of them's going to be Joseph.
Right. I don't know.
He'll have a Technicolor coat. It'll be amazing.
Right. I'm waiting for the Technicolor coat.
I don't think it's Technicolor, but it is colorful. Yeah. So I don't know. Setting up. This is a weird story. This is weird that all this happened.
Yeah.
This 100-year-old guy really had a lot going on in his life. For
yeah,
100-year-old. You think your grandfather's busy?
We talked about earlier about how much shit God put Moses through. Look at what He put Abraham through.
It's true.
This is like, woof.
He's really making Abraham like go through the ringer.
You know, the first Jew. You better prove yourself.
He does.
Yeah. So by
Abraham.
By the time you get to Moses, it's hard to figure out how to punish them for anything.
He found a way.
He found a way.
He found a way.
Well,
I mean, it just made, like, I don't know. None of it makes sense.
Well, don't punish us if we got anything wrong on this episode. But if we did, you know, you can send us an email. You can follow us on all social platforms, social media at American Jew Podcast, except on Twitter, we're American Jew Pod.
I'm at Jonathan Randall.
You can follow me.
Why aren't you following me already?
Yeah, you should be following us both. I'm at Beatnik Nudnik. Oi! We'll see you guys next week.
Don't look back.